Hello everybody, my name is Blue and it has been quite a while again, hasn't it? 3 weeks, I'm so sorry. I've been on holiday first of all to Italy, which was very beautiful, it was stunning. Actually might do an Italian inspired zoo now because I'm really inspired after the architecture. I've been to Venice, I've been to Florence, I've been to a couple of other smaller villages in Italy. But yeah, now I'm back. I'm back with an entrance video for the Lost World of Losango. Yes, we're doing the Lost World of Losango today. And actually I was planning to upload this before going to Italy, but some things were in the way and unfortunately I didn't have enough time to finish it. But I'm back now and I got to finish it and I got to upload it. So I'm here, even though it's a bit of a slow upload, and you know, I had some other stuff to do as well. But I'm sure you will understand since, you know, it's not... I have to upload that regularly anyway, since... not that this is a big channel or anything. But anyway, we're doing a entrance and I hope I'll do a very fast next upload as well, where we will be doing one of the next tropical animals, but I won't reveal which one yet. But for now, we'll be doing the entrance, which is very Indonesian inspired. I wanted an Indonesian inspired entrance since it's very fitting with the theme. The whole pack theme is Indonesian, so I got some inspiration from some very famous buildings. I don't know the name of the buildings, I'll be honest, but some very famous buildings from Indonesia, some temples. And yeah, it's going to be quite a grand, I think, looking build. It's not huge, but I think it's going to look quite impressive eventually. Anyway, despite it not being the biggest entrance, I'm sure you can make more grand things. The first, large majority of this build will be this one building, but I'll be copying over this building and just adjusting a couple of things, so all the other buildings I'll do in the entrance will be faster. It's just this first building will take a bit of a while to build, since it's figuring out all the detailing that I want to do. Because there's a lot of detailing that I end up doing with a lot of the different mossy temple pieces that we have in the game. And you can see the caretaker there walking as a scale reference point. So you get sort of an idea how big it will be. This center building that I'm building right now will be the biggest building, I guess. Or well, yeah. It's the entrance, and I don't know how it's called, but with these Indonesian temples, there's these images that you're finding on the internet. It's famous buildings you can visit of. It looks like a coherent temple, but it's split in the middle, right? And they do that a lot. I thought it was just this one thing, but I've searched and there's multiple of these kind of temples in Indonesia. I'm sure there's a name for it, I don't know. I'm sure people who know this Indonesian architecture, I don't really know Indonesian architecture, I don't know the ancient history of Indonesia either. I don't know how old these buildings are, but I assume they're quite ancient. But they're very, very iconic. This is why the actual logo of the zoo uses this type of building as well. And I thought it would be fitting for the actual entrance of the zoo as well. So that's what the center building will be. And I'm messing around with a lot of the temple pieces. Yeah, trying to get a nice shape. And I end up just keeping this inside face of the wall completely bland, as if it actually got ripped apart. Although I'm sure it's intentional when they built it, but I just want to give it the feeling like the two buildings got ripped apart and it's like the inside is just flat. That makes sense. And then the actual base, kind of, I guess the foundation of the building is a dark color, and I tried to get as much detail in as possible. And then when I looked at images, they all had these cool pattern designs on the walls, and I tried to make an interesting design like that. So that's what I've done, and I basically copy it over on every single face, and I obviously change up the pattern a bit, but generally it's the same. And then you have the nice trims. I tried to make a custom trim as well on top of the walls with sticky out bits everywhere, and I'm being a bit conservative right now, but don't worry, because there will be a lot of sticky out bits everywhere eventually once the actual building is done. But for now it's like one on each corner, I guess. But yeah, so no animals, or there's no animal I can talk about. So I guess what I could do is I could just generally talk about tropical pack and also maybe some other stuff. So what do I think about the tropical pack? Yes, I think it's a great pack. I think it's an unexpected pack, although maybe not. A lot of people did expect some tropical theming, but personally I was just so focused and locked into the idea that the next pack would be a island pack that I just didn't even think of anything else as being feasible possibility and contestant for a pack, which this is exactly what happened. We got something else. And first I was very skeptical about it. I was like, it's not islands, and I really wanted it to be islands. I just want to be right. But retrospectively, I think this is a great pack. I think the tropical pack introduced some species that were, well, needed, I think, like the gibbons, because we really wanted gibbons. We got the siamangs, but it's just not the same as what we really wanted. Yes, the siamangs are cool, but like the Lar Gibbons is really what we wanted as the Planet Zoo fan base. We also got Fossas, which at least I was partially right. We got Fossas, despite it not being an island pack. And what else? Yeah, the Asian water monitor. Asian water monitor was quite unexpected, I must admit myself. The Red River Hog, definitely a fan favorite, a very popular zoo animal. So I think this pack really adds some popular zoo animals with the Lar Gibbon, the Red River Hog, and Fossas are relatively common in zoos. I've seen Fossas in zoos before. I think my local zoo even has Fossas. And then the sloth. Can't have a zoo without a sloth. I mean, yeah, sure, a lot of zoos don't have sloths, but they're so cool and they fit in zoos very well. They're definitely a relatively, I think, common zoo animal. Maybe not super common, but they're relatively common, I would say. A lot of the zoos I've been to had sloths. Let's just say that, at least. Also the architecture. Actually, that's also something I got partially right, because I said the Indonesian architecture would work for an island pack, since, Indonesia is mostly islands. I thought that this is one of the 3 themes I speculated. The other 2 being, I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, one of the 2 being like Pacific Islands kind of architecture, like Hawaiian and stuff like that. And the other theme that I predicted was I'm sure there was a 3rd theme. Oh yeah, the pirate theme, like a pirate kind of Caribbean theme, being very obviously island-like as well. But obviously not about islands now, it's about the tropical pack, and I got one of the 3 themes correctly, despite it not being an islands pack. So I guess I'm proud about that, at least. So the tropical pack has the Indonesian architecture, which is amazing. I mean, it has temple pieces, and we got temple pieces from the South American pack, but I think that we really need some fresh new temple pieces, and these are flexicolored. I mean, the South American pack are also flexicolored, don't get me wrong, but these have more customization with the moss color as well. And I think if you combine these with the South American pack, you can make even more detailed builds, which I've done with the previous build with the Asian water monitor and the Gharial. I've done that, so yeah, definitely possible. The other pieces that we've got a lot of banners, we got some nice wood pieces, some nice props as well. We've got some door handles that are, they're a bit themed, but you can use them for a couple of cool things, because a lot of like tropical houses and stuff really have these kind of themed big door handles. So I guess that's cool. And then you have the cool patterns and the decals that you can put on your walls with the nice patterns. They're quite niche, but they're cool. You can definitely make some nice, if you want to make Indonesian temples. I mean, this is the pack to get, right? I mean, it is literally Indonesian architecture, so that's what you would expect from Indonesian architecture, that you can make Indonesian temple pieces and temple buildings with it. But after all that talking, I've made some progress on the entrance. I'm building a wall now, and this wall will lead to a next temple building. And also, if you've noticed, I built 2 statues in front, which are, I think, the Fossa heads. Yeah, I'll have statues of each animal around the entrance, basically. So the first ones being the Fossas, and obviously we'll have the Lar Gibbons, the water monitors, and also the Red River Hogs. Actually, and now that I think about it, I think the sloths should have had a statue as well. I don't know why we don't have a sloth head. I mean, I don't think an exhibit animal is an excuse, because we've got gotten like props for exhibit animals in the past. I think the Europack has like those. You remember those custom? They were quite weird, but those custom animal statues, or like animal signs you could make, where you could mix and match different legs and arms and the head pieces with the torso. There was a salamander one as well, which is an exhibit animal. But I think I mean, a sloth statue would have been cool, at least like the sloth head. I mean, since we have a head of all the other tropical animal packs, tropical animals. But yeah, it's not a big deal, I suppose. It's not that bad. I don't really mind. But yeah, so also all the pieces are on the workshop. So if you want any of these pieces in your zoo, and any of the wall pieces, the pillar pieces, even the statues and the centerpieces, the big temples, you can find it all in the workshop. They're all pure decorative. There's no interior, so no point in well, you can try to get some interior in there, but it's I didn't really think of interior when making these temples. So there's no interior, but very nice to maybe put somewhere in the center of your zoo or something like that, or you can use it as an entrance, as I have done. But yeah, so I'll link the workshop items in the description of the video as well, so definitely check that out. And now what I'm doing here is I've used the temple I've already built, and I basically connected them so that you create a complete like a temple building, not with like a gap in the middle. And then I'm adjusting it a bit, making the shape a bit different so it doesn't look too repetitive. So I've added some extra columns, some extra walls to make it a bit different, but they still look very similar, you know. I mean, it is virtually the same building. So that makes it a bit more grandiose. Is that a word? I think that feels like it's too French. I think I'm confusing my Dutch a bit. But yeah, it feels quite grand. That's a better word, I think. And then right here, oh, what's this? Oh yeah, this is a nice little feature in front. I saw some images where they had like just a nice little wall feature, and I thought, you know, I'll build something like that as well. It was nice. It breaks up the area a bit, because otherwise it was a big, just open area in the middle. There's nothing much to say about it. I add a little statue head using the thatch pieces later on as well to create a bit more of some detail. And that's just a simple feature. And then I also add a nice patio, not patio, but like a big platform kind of thing. You'll see. But yeah, that's that. I'll do that on the other side as well. So it's a complete symmetrical entrance. Everything on the left will also be copied over to the right. Simple as. And also I use this cool pattern piece. I didn't really know where else I would use it. I thought, you know, it fits. It makes the wall look cool, I guess. And yeah, this is the thatched roof that I was talking about. Really cool pieces. We don't get any thatched grid pieces, which, you know, unfortunate, I guess. We got a load of other thatched grid pieces, so it's not that big of a deal. Although I would like to have grid pieces. I think a lot of people would appreciate having grid pieces as well as the off-grid pieces. But yeah, it is what it is. And I also wished it was Flexicolor, because the problem is now we've got 3 different thatch roof sets, and I think at least making this one Flexicolor makes it like different enough to make it worth adding a new thatch set. So now we just have 3 different thatch sets of 3 different colors, but I wish that this one was Flexicolor. No, I think that would have been nice. So could have done some more customization with some thatch roofs as well. But it's fine. It's Indonesian. This is how they look like. So whatever. Would have been nice, but whatever. And then now I'm continuing the wall, and I'm gonna add another temple, but this one is gonna be even more different. I think this one's gonna be a bit smaller, but just by a bit. There's not gonna be a big difference. And then also a load of planters, but when I looked at images, a lot of the planters, they looked very just bland, just grass and maybe a tree or two, or like a fern or two. So I thought I'll try it, since it feels more like you're in the middle of like a temple garden kind of thing, instead of a full-on plant with flowers, because I think the flowers maybe look a bit more too European if I would add too many flowers, perhaps, since I connect that with more of a European garden. But when I looked at images, a lot of the flower beds, or a lot of the grass beds were just plain grass. So I'm sticking to that as well. And I think it looks good. It looks very rich. For some reason, it looks very fancy. Like a very cool temple. And yeah, this is the third iteration of that same temple building, making it a bit smaller, just to change it a bit, and changing the shape up again. Making it more round, because the other one is a bit more stretched out. So I'm removing a sticky out bit just to make the shape a bit more round, if that's the correct word, like more cuboid. And yeah, I'm also raising the whole foundation, so you actually see it when placed down as well. And that's near the end of the speed build. There's just 1 more minute of building to go, where I've virtually just add plants. And oh yeah, I almost forgot also the floor. I wanted to do a custom floor because I couldn't really find the right path, and path is quite annoying to build with anyway. So I built this custom floor, or custom ground floor kind of thing, and it looks good. It looks like a temple. There's nothing much more to say about it. And then I end up doing lighting and stuff as well, but I do that off camera. But you saw a sneak peek of it in the beginning with this very fast cinematic in the beginning of the video, how it looks like at nighttime as well. And I'll do a second cinematic at the end of this video. But now, thank you for watching. There's some 10 seconds more to go to the speed build, so enjoy the last 10 seconds and definitely check out the little thing at the end. Bye-bye.